Hey everyone! Welcome into today's episode of the Top Cut Podcast. I am Sonny.
This is your boy Caleb. Woo!
And today we have a ton to talk about. It has been a really exciting week so far. We have gotten a lot of new information. Some of this is information that we've actually had for, I don't know,
Almost a week at this point, at the time of recording.
At the time of recording, it's been probably 5 days, but by the time this podcast drops on Friday, it will have been a full week since we got we'll just say the Rose Dragon support.
Oh yes, for those Akiza fans out there, you're in luck.
Sort of. But this is the Top Cut Podcast. Thanks again, everybody, for joining. We are going to get into it. We're going to start up big with the Rose Dragon support. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Akiza best Yugi waifu.
Later on, we'll hear some about the Extravaganzas.
Oh
and
yeah.
All the timestamps will be in the description if you want to skip around.
Oh yeah. By the Extravaganzas, USA and Mexico one specifically.
Yeah, we'll have the results of both Extravaganzas that we're going to talk about near the end of the show.
So to begin with, the new Rose Dragon support. There's a new Rose Dragon Synchro Monster. Blood Rose Dragon in the OCG. Great name! Translated to Ruddy Rose Dragon in the TCG. Sounds like Scooby-Doo got into Yu-Gi-Oh! Apparently.
Ruddy Rose Dragon.
Ruh-roh, Raggy. I rummin' Ruddy Rose Dragon! So it's a level 10 Fire Dragon Synchro with 3200 attack, 2400 defense. It's pretty beefy.
Yeah, beefy does not mean it's good, though.
Fair. It's a generic Synchro. You can make it with anything.
Yeah, one tuner, one or more non-tuners.
Oh, yeah. Very generic. And it's got two main effects. One, if this card is Synchro Summoned, you can banish all cards from the graveyard. Then if this card was Synchro Summoned using Black Rose Dragon or a plant Synchro Monster's material, you get Black Rose Dragon's effect. Only you don't nuke it, only doesn't nuke itself as well.
Oh, so it destroys all other cards on the field rather than all cards.
Correct. But only if Black Rose Dragon or a plant Synchro was used as one of the materials to make it.
Oh, okay. Well, that's okay. So at least you don't have to use Black Rose. You can use any plant Synchro's material.
Correct. And as we'll get into later, and we'll get into that in a minute. Remember, it's level 10. In its second effect, when your opponent activates a card or effect that would destroy cards, period.
Cards.
Yeah. Quick effect. Tribute this card, negate the activation, and then special summon a Black Rose Dragon from your extra deck or graveyard. So if you use Black Rose Dragon to make this thing, activate that effect, and you just get your Black Rose Dragon back.
And it's any card or card. So if your opponent activates one that would destroy one on either player's field, like for example, if your opponent has a Trident and they activate a Trident to pop their own Cursed Eldland or something of that sort.
Nah, bruh.
Exactly. You'd be able to get this effect off.
Yeah, you lose your 1300 beat stick for a 2400 beat stick. But I don't think Trident can get over that normally, can it?
It's kind of hard to say. It kind of depends on game flow.
Fair enough.
Because Trident itself can pop the card. Although it does, okay, what I'm saying is, if you have more than one material on Trident, and you, the next turn, Trident can just turn around and pop. But I guess...
That's fair.
I guess if you bring out, if you nuke the field, I guess it doesn't matter.
Oh, yeah. Well, the thing with Black Rose Dragon is that its field nuking effect only activates if you Synchro Summon it.
Oh, okay.
I've done that to so many people.
Okay, yeah. The next one we have is Garden Rose Flora.
Yes.
A level 5 light plant tuner with 800 attack and 1600 defense.
Yes, it's a retrain of
Garden Rose Maiden.
Right. It's generic level 5 plant synchro tuner. Pretty good. One
tuner, one or more non-tuners? Just
yep.
The usual? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
You can only use the first effect of this card's name once per turn. 1. You can target a field spell on the field. You cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck for the rest of this turn, except Synchros. So after you use effect, you're locked into Synchros. Destroy the target, special summon a Rose token to its controller's field in attack position.
Gross, it summons a token. Oh, it's a level 2 token.
It's a level 2 token. This thing is level 5 plant, so is a level 5 plant synchro tuner. So by activating its effect by popping your own Black Rose Garden, you can immediately make a Black Rose Dragon with it.
Oh, I was just about to ask if they have their own field spell already.
They do. Black Rose Garden.
Oh, okay.
Which summons those exact tokens that thing summons. The exact same token.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize they already had their own field spell.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think they have a second one. I don't remember. Doesn't matter. 2. During your opponent's main phase, you can, quick effect, immediately after this effect resolves, Synchro Summon using this card you control.
Okay, so this is level 5, and if you pop the field spell, it lets you summon a level 2 monster.
You pass your turn.
Turn, quick effect, Synchro Summon.
In a Black Rose, nuke the field, baby.
Right, okay. Okay,
yeah,
that makes sense.
They let you Black Rose Dragon to your opponent's turn, basically.
Yeah. Alright, so what's this next card we have?
Okay, Rox Rose Dragon, which actually, for whatever reason, in the TCG name, Rox Rose was 2 words, in the OCG name, Rox Rose was 2 words, in the TCG it's 1 word. I don't know why they did that.
Yeah, we'll talk about some of the name changes that have been going on around here.
Oh, yeah. It's a level 3 Dark Dragon Tuner with 1600 attack, 1200 defense. You can only use each of this card's first and second effects once per turn. When this card is normal or special summon, you can add a card that specifically lists Black Rose Dragon in its text from your deck to your hand, except Rox Rose Dragon.
Hey, that's pretty good.
Yeah, to search literally any card that lists Black Rose Dragon in its card text somewhere.
This is the best normal summon in the deck.
Easily.
It's a normal summon dragon tuner that searches on summon.
Oh, yeah.
That's as good as it gets for a deck like this.
Oh, yeah, no, it can search about 90% of the things in the deck, because 90% of the stuff in the deck says Black Rose Dragon somewhere on it.
Right. It's just like Magician's Rod for the Dark Magician deck.
2. If this card is in your graveyard and a face-up Rose Dragon monster or plant synchro monster you control is destroyed by battle or opponent's card effect, you can return Rox Rose Dragon from graveyard to your hand.
I really wish that it was, instead of by battle or opponent's card effect, if it was just by battle or card effect.
Yes, because then you could pop it with your own. You can pop whatever with your own stuff.
If you blow up your own Black Rose Dragon, then
for its own effect, you can just bring it right back to your hand.
Right, dude. If that was what the effect was, it would be.
Oh my god, it'd be a 3 of.
Yeah, I think it probably already is a 3 of, honestly.
Yeah, fair enough, but it would be guaranteed a 3 of. If this deck actually, wasn't more of a kitchen table deck. Which, don't get me wrong, it's still, I bet, a blast to play, but...
maybe if you set your kitchen table at the 500th table.
Maybe! Next up, we have Blood Rose Witch, which got translated to Ruddy Rose Rich.
Boo! Wait.
Ruddy Rose Witch.
You just said Ruddy Rose Rich.
Konami... why'd you let Scooby-Doo join you, Jesus?
You gotta watch that.
Yeah. It's a level 1 light plant tuner with 800 attack, 1700 defense.
They have too many tuners. They need more non-tuners.
I know, right? You can only use each of this card's name's first and second effects once per turn. 1. You can tribute this card, add a Witch of the Black Rose from your deck to your hand, and if you do, place a level 3 or lower plant monster from your deck on top of your deck, then immediately after this effect resolves, you can normal summon 1 Witch of the Black Rose.
Witch of the Black Rose, not Witch of the Black Forest, people that played old school Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yes. Okay, the reason why I looked this up, the reason why it's worded so strangely is because Witch of the Black Rose's effect specifically states that when it is a normal summon, you must excavate the top card of your deck, and if it's not a plant monster, you send that card to the graveyard, and Witch of the Black Rose immediately destroys herself.
Oh.
And if it is a plant, you add it to your hand. So that effect guarantees you'll get your Witch of the Black Rose on the field, plus then you also get to replace it in your hand.
Okay, I got you.
At the same time. That's why it's so weirdly worded.
It's worded very specifically to work within the archetype.
Exactly, very specifically to work with Witch of the Black Rose, which had such a weird effect attached to it because at the time it was a level 4 tuner.
It's a really old card though, too, isn't it?
Yes, that was a Wave 1 Akiza card.
Yeah, so we're talking like the Crossroads of Chaos, Starstrike Blast, like way back in the day.
Yeah, like the first or second 5D set.
Right. Then
at the time, Konami was really afraid of having level 4 tuners just running around without some kind of limitation.
Well, to be fair, a lot of the best cards in the game at that time were level 4.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have recurable level 4 tuners, then those go hand in hand to make things like Stardust Dragon, Scrap Dragon.
Mm-hmm.
Just good generic.
Goyo Guardian.
Goyo Guardian, I think, is a 6.
Yeah, he's 6. Never mind. But the only other level 8 synchro, I can only think of 2 more level 8 synchros. One of them was Colossal Fighter. The other one was Red Dragon Archfiend.
Thought Ruler Archfiend.
Thought Ruler Archfiend, yes. But that's getting off topic. In addition, you can banish this card from your graveyard. Return one of your Black Rose Dragon or Blood Rose Dragon that is banished or in your graveyard to your extra deck. Let you recur your Ruddy Rose Dragon or your Black Rose Dragon.
It was absolute power force.
There we go.
That it was released in.
Who was the cover art card for that one?
One of the Red Dragon Archfiends. I don't know if it's...
I think that was Majestic Red.
I think you're probably right.
And the reason why I think that is because I pulled one.
You are correct. It is Majestic Red Dragon.
Hey!
That's pretty good.
Hey.
That's pretty That's pretty good. You pulled the Ghost, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
The only Ghost I've ever pulled. It's kind of sad.
I pulled Power Tool.
Yeah, you did pull the Ghost Rare Power Tool.
At a regional for that set.
Yeah, I remember that. And people immediately...
I sold it for $20.
Yeah. Because Ghost Rares weren't worth a lot. Well, Power Tool's Ghost Rare wasn't worth a whole lot at the time.
Yeah, Power Tool Ghost Rare was not worth a lot at that time. The guy that bought it, though, I don't know who it was, stonks. That dude did good for himself.
Yeah, no. But he knew. He knew.
I pulled it at that regional. I was like, wow, this card's actually trash. Turns out it was amazing.
And then Infernoble Knights became a thing.
A decade and a half later.
Yeah. Anyway, continue on. We now have a quick play spell. Basil Rose Shoot. You can only activate each of its effects once per turn.
Hard ones per turn.
Hard ones per turn. Real hard ones per turn, trust me. It needs it. Special summon a Rose Dragon monster from your hand or graveyard in defense position.
Seems pretty good.
And if this set card is destroyed, target one of your Black Rose Dragon or one monster that specifically lists that card in its text that is banished in your graveyard and special summon it.
Okay, so basically, even if this card, if this card is removed from the field, whether it be by resolution of its own effect or for another reason, it gets an effect.
No, it has to be, the set card has to be destroyed.
Okay, well, it's either destroyed or it's...
Or you activate, yeah. Like, no matter what, you're getting an effect off. If it gets Twin Twisted, Harpy's Feather Dusted, you can either chain it or just shrug and let it go.
Right.
In that case, I would just shrug and let it go because it gets a slightly better effect if it gets destroyed while set.
Yeah. I just think the built-in protection is good.
Oh, absolutely. But yeah, that's about it for the Rose Dragons board. Now listen, I really like the Rose Dragons because they all look, the artwork on them is all great. I like the way they kind of play off of one another to make
within archetype, like, how do I put this?
The in-archetypal synergy.
Exactly. It's really nice. They really did do a good job of making sure that all of the cards within the archetype work well together. The problem is, it's just still not very good.
It just doesn't go anywhere. Yes, this is a lot of good stuff. I think that...
It's really fair.
That's the problem, is that it's too fair.
Exactly.
It's
too much work, and too many pieces have to line up for too underwhelming of an effect for it to really be relevant in the meta.
Exactly, because you're not going to be able to build a board of Borload Savage, plus a Fornegate Appaloosa, plus Hieratic Seal, plus the Hieratic Seal of the Heavenly Spheres.
Yeah, it's just not realistic.
It's great for Table 500 or Kitchen Table Yu-Gi-Oh! But these effects are just way too fair.
It's a great casual deck.
Oh yeah. Don't get me wrong, if I built this deck, I know for a fact I would have a blast with it.
Is that because they explode?
Yeah. Also, yeah, because Black Rose
Blast
blows up everything. Anyway.
Okay, come on, that was funny.
It was. Anyway,
So what do you think about it though? Like, do you think it's worth picking up the cards for, or do you think it's just...
It's worth it as long as you go into it with the knowledge that this deck will not win me any major tournament. Depending upon your local, you might be able to do well at a local with it. It depends on...
see that.
Depends on your local. Like our local, probably not.
No, our local is... Those players are too good for this.
Yeah, no. We would just get pimp slapped.
Yeah, they're a little bit too big brain.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no.
We're a little too smooth brain.
Yeah, like they would just kind of watch us do whatever we're doing, just kind of stare at it, let everything go through, shrug, and
start building an Eldritch board.
Yeah, just start building an Eldritch board.
Dino Link board.
Yeah, and
Dragon Link, I mean.
Yeah, Dragon Link, Dino Link. Dear God.
Oh, let's not speak that one into existence.
Yeah, or just just kind of shrug and go, okay, whatever. You did what you were going to do. I'm just going to do what I'm going to do.
Yeah,
because you didn't put out any negates.
Right.
Well, you put out one negate, but I'm not going to destroy anything. So
well, it's just the interruption. Being able to nuke the field.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about Lightning Overdrive.
Now, keep in mind, this is depending upon your OTS. The pre-release for Lightning Overdrive is this weekend.
Right, for all participating OTS stores. So it's a great time to go to your local game shop, your LGS, local game store, whatever. Go to your OTS. Right. Support your store. Go out there, be safe, wear a mask, things like that. But have fun. This is a great time to get back into the in-person experience.
Oh, yeah. I remember the way it was back when we were originally playing with the pre-release is that you'd show up, you pay like $20, you get 5 packs.
Right.
You get a promo card. For this one, it's the Amazement ticket, the quick play spell.
Right.
Yeah, that's a promo card for this one. And then they'd have a tournament, and you can use all the new cards in the tournament.
Right. So even though the set is not technically tournament legal for another week after the pre-release, you still have the opportunity to get the cards early. You're going to get the cards before you can find them at Walmart and stuff, and you can play with them at your LGS.
Oh yeah. Like I have very distinct memories of the set where they introduced the Hieratics.
Oh gosh. Oh my goodness. That's
yeah. I walked in.
That?
I don't remember. So I walked in, slapped down my $20, got my packs, and I was determined to walk out that store with three Autumns. I pulled one, and got the.
I remember that.
And got the other 2 for like $10.
How do you spell hieratic?
Hieratici, I think.
Hieratici.
ATIC. There it is. Anyway, ended up getting the other 2 for like $10.
Galactic Overlord.
Built the deck, had the deck ready for the tournament, played through the tournament, got about... I ended in one of the middle tables because no one knew how that deck functioned.
8 to 10, yeah.
Yeah, no one knew how the deck functioned. I was also able to grab a Gaia Dragoon too.
Oh, you're right. That was the same set.
Yeah. So literally, I would just with the right hand, I would just go off, pump out 2 Autumns, use their effects to pump out Heliopolis, and then make Gaia Dragoon swing for game.
Right.
And Justin, a buddy of ours, decided, hey, I know that's what you're playing. I'm going to side mask a restrict.
No. We also had a Frog Monarch player.
He didn't even think about that until the matchup came up.
Oh, you know what? I remember that. I remember this happening.
Yeah, and so I remember seeing the game where he was up against the Monarch Frog player and just flipped Master Restrict, and the player just looked at him like, why?
Why are you playing this?
Afterward, and he got first because of it, I think.
I don't remember.
I don't remember either, but he ended up winning that duel, and he was like, it's all because of this guy right here pointing at me.
The only sneak peek, like I said, they're called pre-releases now. We always call them sneak peeks. The only sneak peek that I really remember really vividly, I remember the Abyss Rising sneak peek. The set that all the Mermails got introduced in, most of the Madolches. That's an all-timer right there. That's a good set right there.
I knew Madolche was going to be good.
Eventually.
Hey, when we were getting out, they were good.
Yeah,
not meta, but they were good.
I have a lot of memories from that sneak peek, but not good ones. I wanted to pick up a lot of the Mermail stuff. I did not have the budget or the trade binder to do so. I think I got 2 Atlantean Dragoons.
Yeah, the super.
I think he was he might have even been an ultra because I think he was. I don't know. Yeah, no. He was a super because at the time supers were not guaranteed, so that's what it was. But I got 1 or 2 of him, and I want to say it was about halfway through the event, my binder got stolen.
Yeah, I remember that.
And I was ready to quit, dude. I was so upset. And if it wasn't for me being an hour away from the house and not really being able to leave and just having to be there anyway, I probably would have.
Yeah. Well, we're getting distracted again with stories.
Yeah.
Just a pair of old players reminiscing about times gone.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, so the first big thing about the set is there was a card in there called Albion the Stigmatica Dragon.
Oh, this is... Okay, so it's Lightning Overdrive.
Yes, in Lightning Overdrive.
This is the introduction of the new Stigmatica archetype, which is like lore-wise related
connected
to the,
with the Dogmaticas.
And...
Despia is coming up in Dawn of Majesty.
And...
Fallen of Albaz.
And...
Tri-Brigade.
And...
The Rocket Dudes.
No, not Sylvans. No, definitely not Sylvans.
Spriggans. Yeah, Spriggans.
Yeah. It's all one big lore.
Yeah. It's kind of like a dual terminal world thing. Anyway, so it's been renamed from Albion the Stigmatica Dragon to Albion the Branded Dragon.
Okay, I have to be honest here. I love this. I really do. I absolutely love the rename here. It was renamed for because stigmata has religious connotations to it, but
very Judeo-Christian connotation.
But the branded, oh, I love that.
It sounds something like from D&D or Pathfinder or something like that. Just the branded. Ooh,
it honestly sounds amazing. Just the idea behind it. So I love that rename. It's way better than Ruddy Rose Dragon for sure.
Oh yeah, and Ruddy Rose Witch.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about that, man.
So, I made sure I said witch this time. Okay.
Look how they murdered my boy.
Yeah. Anyway, so we actually have a list of some of the good cards from the set to keep an eye out for.
Yeah, these are cards that we if you go to the sneak peek, be sure to keep an eye out for these because you can absolutely find these. I mean, not necessarily in people's trade binders. Maybe if you have somebody that opens 5 packs and they do this at every locals, for better or worse, they'll leave a pile of cards sitting on the table.
Not all of these. Some of the, most of the cards on this list, you're not going to find them in piles. One of these, you probably will.
You'd be amazed.
So that's actually the first card on the list. Scrap Raptor. It's a common.
Yeah, a lot of people thought that this was going to be a secret rare.
Because it's really good.
It kind of seems like they want to make it easily accessible. That way Dino can go insane and they can really murder the deck on the ban list.
Very possibly. That's absolutely a possibility.
Yeah, so just keep an eye out for the Scrap Raptors.
Oh, yeah. Another card is Dark Infant at Ignister. Very important card for any Ignister decks. I think it's a super.
Right.
Then there's Bear Bloom, who got Tri-Brigade Bear Bloom,
right?
Who got renamed. It's now Tri-Brigade Bear Brum, Brumm.
Yeah, so this is the new Tri-Brigade Link 2. So this will be the third wave of support for the deck.
Oh yeah, it's a super.
Which, this deck is already really good, which we're going to talk more about here in a minute.
Oh yeah. Let's see, and then over on the secret side, you got Diviner the Herald, Dredtron Mu Beta Fafnir, Book of Lunar Eclipse, which is just discard 1 card. You get Book of Moon twice.
I love that. I don't know if it's necessarily better than Book of Moon, but I think it's got different applications.
It absolutely does. The thing is that it's for a lot of situations, Book and Moon will do the exact same thing that this does, but without the cost. But there are some circumstances where you will live or die by whether or not you ran the Lunar Eclipse or Book of Moon.
But you kind of have to wonder in certain decks if it's not a comparison of MST versus Twin Twister.
That is... It absolutely is. It 100% is. It's literally the exact same comparison.
Well, and you really have to wonder if not only was that what they were going for, which I'm sure it was, but you have to wonder if that's not, in some decks, just better. Because in Eldritch, it might be better to be able to discard your traps or be able to discard your Eldritch monster.
But then there are some decks that are going to prefer to not want to do that, in which case Book of Moon will do the exact same thing.
Right.
Without the cost. But I don't think this is going to be the same as Twin Twister and MST, where Twin Twister just kind of power crept MST out completely.
Well, I think it was a combination of Twin Twister and Cosmic.
That's very true. Because why would you ever want MST if you're worried about the discard? Just pay 1,000 life points to banish it instead.
Exactly, and we don't really have that for Book of Moon.
Exactly.
What would something like that look like? Because you can't just pay 1,000 to banish any monster on the field. That's a little too broken.
I would say banish to, or maybe pay 1,000 to. The only thing I think of is a turn a card to hand, but that's even more powerful than flipping it face down.
Yeah, but we don't need a return to hand interruption. We already have that.
Yeah,
it's been out for 20 years.
Yeah, Phoenix Wind Blast.
No,
that's top of the deck.
Compulse.
Yeah, Compulse.
Compulsory evacuation device.
I thought the discard for cost.
Yeah. I mean, I suppose if you paid 1,000 to banish a monster, it might not be the end of the world.
Maybe until
it seems a little too broken though.
Maybe until like the end of the end of the next turn's end phase, maybe.
Oh,
and it comes back.
Well, maybe just until the end phase. I don't know. Maybe until the next. I don't know.
Well, the idea is because then if you hit it on your opponent's, because then it'd be quick play, of course. If you hit on your opponent's turn,
it wouldn't come back till the end of your turn.
Exactly, but then if you did it on your turn, it would come back at the end of your opponent's turn, so it's right back on your field again. But again, it's quick play, so hit your opponent, won't be there for your turn, so you can do whatever you need to do.
Right. It's interesting. Mm-hmm. I don't know. We might see something like that in the future. Who knows?
Oh yeah, who knows?
So,
and then also on the secret, you also have Benghalancer. Benghalancer, I believe. It's a play on Bahamut. It's a more feminine form of Bahamut.
It's weird.
The Grand Radiance.
What is this? Is this a...
It's a hand trap.
Oh, okay. So it's just an effect monster.
Oh, yeah. Just your generic effect monster. First off, you can tribute summon it using one effect monster.
Okay.
When your opponent adds cards to their hand, not by drawing, you can tribute summon this card from your hand, just right there.
Okay.
And then I forgot to write down what it does from there. If
it's normal or special summon from the hand, you can make your opponent banish the top cards of their deck face down, equal to the number of cards in their hand, then shuffle their entire hand into the deck, and if they do, add the cards banished by this effect to their hand. So this is, hard ones per turn. This is really, really interesting in a sense of if your opponent, okay, perfect example. Activate Magical Meltdown. Normal summon Alistair, search Invocation. Activate the effect of
just call
Benghalancer.
I was going to say, just call her the Baja Lady.
Baja Blast?
Baja Blast!
I'm going to Baja Blast that hand, baby.
Oh, yeah.
So if you activate the effect of all Baja Blast over here, you can... So if they have 5 cards in hand, they will banish 5 from the top of their deck, shuffle all their hand back into their deck, and then add those 5 cards to their hand. Now, the reason that the ordering here is important, and it's not just shuffle them back, draw 5, is because if they have like a one of in their hand, you guarantee that it will not be back in their hand afterwards.
Exactly. Because while it was still in their hand, it was banished off the top. Their new hand was already banished off the top.
Exactly.
Now, granted, if they have a 2 or a 3 of...
There's a good chance they see it again anyway.
Yeah, but the chances of them drawing the exact same card is 0. Because you literally... They make their new hand first.
Right. It's honestly a really innovative way to do this.
Oh yeah, and it's definitely a very unique effect. This is the first time I've ever seen this kind of effect.
It's the first time I've ever seen it. That's for sure.
Yeah. There might be a card that just no one bothered with because it wasn't a hand trap. Now granted, the cost of using this thing is you have to tribute one of your effect monsters. For some decks, that's not a problem. For other decks, that's kind of a big deal.
Huge deal.
Yeah. So you're not going to be seeing this in literally every single deck. You're going to be seeing this in
Occasionally.
Yeah, like, I'm trying to think of a deck that wouldn't mind running this.
I cannot come up with one.
Yeah.
Duh. Obviously.
Don't,
Monarchs.
Yeah, Monarchs. Don't Drytron get effects when they're tributed?
I think... No, that's Ben 10.
Is it just Ben 10?
Yeah.
Okay.
And maybe Cyber Angel Natasha, too.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so, like, the actual effect itself is good, but that cost is just... steep.
Yeah. All right. The next one is Mysterion the Dragon Crown. Is that it?
Yep.
Okay. So this is an ultra rare. It's a light spellcaster fusion effect monster. The materials, it's 3,000 attack. The materials are 1 spellcaster and 1 dragon monster. So it's a super poly target.
It's a big super poly target.
Right.
Who would have thunk it? Mysterion is a super poly target.
Yeah. It cannot be used as fusion material. It loses 100 attack for each of your banished cards. If a monster uses its activated effect to special summon itself or a monster with the same original type, except during the damage step, you can target one of those special summon monsters, banish that monster. Also banish all monsters from the field with its same original type. You can only use this effect once per turn.
Pseudo IDP. Pseudo AoE IDP.
Yeah, in a way.
Now, one cool thing about this is that it very specifically states it cannot be used as fusion material. So if you make it, your opponent can't out it with Super Poly.
Right.
To make their own, because it's a spellcaster.
Which is an interesting stipulation to put on there.
Because, I'm trying to think of, what other what other fusion monster would use this thing as material?
That's probably about it.
Yeah. The only one I can think of...
It was like they were like, oh no, people are just going to make this because this is a spellcaster monster and use it to continuously interrupt a Dragonlink combo. We can't let that happen.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because multiple super polys, you can just keep eating their stuff. Mm-hmm. Also, you could theoretically eat it to make construct.
Ew, gross. Let's not think about that.
But now because it very specifically states that you can't be used as fusion material, you can't make construct with it.
Right.
Which is good for any player who plays Mysterion.
So there's one more card that's actually not listed here for some reason that I kind of want to talk about. It is another secret rare. It's called Benghalancer the Resurgent.
Oh, Ben the Negativator.
This is interesting because as you look at the pre-sale prices, this is a card that everyone's like, this card is trash. And yet it's pre-saling for it's like the second or third most expensive card in the set.
I know, and I don't understand why.
Okay, well, let's talk about it a little bit to let people know what the effect is before we just rant about why it's not good. So it's a secret rare light plant link effect monster. 2,500 attack, 2+ plant monsters is the material. During the main phase, quick effect. You can target one effect monster your opponent controls. Semicolon, so that's cost. Take damage equal to its attack, and if you take damage, return it to the hand. So, a worst compulse. If this card is in your graveyard, you can banish 2 or more link monsters from your graveyard, whose combined link ratings equal exactly 4, because this is a link 4 monster. Special summon this card, but banish it when it leaves the field. You can only use this effect once per turn. Garbage. This card is not good. It's way too specific for way too underwhelming of an effect.
Because first off, you have to go negative just to make the thing.
Right, so it's a link 4 with 2+ plant monsters. Come on.
You're better off just synchroing into Black Rose Dragon, most likely.
The only thing I can come up with is that it is usable in that deck specifically. Because it does, you can use tokens.
Oh, yeah, that's fair.
So if you summon a bunch of plant tokens using their field spell or one of their monsters...
Yeah, that's fair.
Then you can just go into this guy.
Yeah, but then the whole...
It's still not worth $40.
And not only that, you still have to take direct damage to compulse.
And it's not equal to its original attack, it's equal to its attack. So, I mean, something like a Dragoon. A Dragoon that's been boosted a couple of times by its negates. 5,000 damage could be.
I have the perfect example. Your opponent makes
Borreload Savage.
Not Borreload Savage. Cyber Overdragon, I think. The one that's like a bunch of Cyber
Oh,
Dragons.
Chimera Tech Overdragon?
Yeah, to make Chimera take Overdragon. And you're like, oh, I can survive the hit. Activate effect. Chain limiter removal. GG.
Yeah.
Just take 16.
Yeah.
Yeah, just take over 10,000 damage.
It's rough because it's like taking that damage equal to its attack, and that's on the resolution of the effect, not as part of the cost. So, just like you said, you can just chain limiter removal and kill yourself on accident.
Very easily.
I don't like this card at all.
Yeah, but that's in that very specific niche circumstance, which I think will possibly come up if people run this card, considering what's right around the corner.
Yeah. Okay, so that's some of the key cards to keep an eye out for. But
there's one card that on pre-sale I think is being undervalued.
Yeah, we don't really like to talk too much about market on this channel. We think that I feel like there's a bunch of channels that already cover the market.
And also, we don't know what we're talking about.
Yeah. Well, there's other channels that cover the market. They do a good job, and they do it much better than we do.
Oh, yeah.
So we don't feel like we need to cover the market. But that said, this Amazement Attendant Comica, we both looked at this and we were like, this card should be like triple the price.
It should minimum be double. Bare minimum.
Right. So it's a light level 4 machine effect monster, 1400 attack, 1800 defense.
Just a quick little reminder for those who don't remember from last episode.
Right. So this was the Amazement Link 4. It's
level 4.
Level 4 monster. It's the normal summon for the deck. Yeah. When this card is normal summoned, you can set one attraction trap directly from your deck. Quick effect, which already in and of itself, as the only normal summon of the deck, is awesome.
There's another one, and it does the exact same thing.
It's crazy. Quick effect. You can target one of your attraction traps equipped to a monster. Equip it to one amazement monster you control or one face-up monster your opponent controls. You can only use this effect once per turn. This effect of this card once per turn, so it's a hard once per turn.
Oh yeah. Now remember that all the attraction trap cards all have different effects depending upon whether or not they're equipped to your opponent's monster or your monster.
Right, so if you activate the trap card, equip it to your opponent's monster, interrupt them, and then later in the turn, while she's still in the field, quick effect, chain her effect, move it, and then its effect becomes something different. So,
and each effect, and it's not, this effect is once per turn, each effect is once per turn.
Right. So, you might have a card that is a fiendish chain to your opponent's monster, and then you switch it and you get a Book of Mana monster.
Mm-hmm.
Which is kind of insane.
Or search or whatever, depending upon what attraction it is.
So, getting to be able to flip-flop back and forth on a normal summon.
Now, granted, I think the reason why it is cheaper, why it's so cheap, quote unquote, is entirely because is that in the set there's also a common
right
for the archetype that literally does the exact same effect.
Even so, I feel like $6.
That's
$6.50
for pre-sale. That's too low
for an ultra rare. That's probably a 2 to 3 of, and I would think a 3 of in the deck.
Oh, absolutely. I would think both monsters are a 3 of.
Yeah, it might be a splashable engine, and if you splash it in something else, then it might only be a 2 of. But if you do the deck pure, it's probably a 3 of, I would think.
Yeah, no. So, in my opinion, if I really felt like it, I would go ahead and get them now while they're cheap, because I fully suspect these will spike in price.
If you see these at your locals, they might not spike in price on release. They might not spike a month after release.
They will.
It might be like Tri-Brigade Fractal. He waited 3 or 4 months after release, and now he's a $27 card.
Oh yeah, when he was what, $6? $2 at launch?
Yeah, it was $2 to $3.
Stonks.
So does Ice Dragon's Prison. That was a $3 card on launch.
I wish I could have got them when they were $6 apiece.
I got mine at $8.
Lucky.
Well, it worked out. So, but that's some of the cards to keep an eye out for. Scrap Raptor, Diviner, Mubeta Fafnir. Bear Brum is a super. Dark Infinite Ignister is what?
I think he's a super too.
Is it?
Yeah, it's the Ad Ignister's Link 1.
Oh, is that what it is Link 1?
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
It's definitely the support that they needed.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they still need a lot of support, but...
They're getting more support.
I know. I think at this point they're the archetype with some of the most support in the game.
No, surely not. That would be Dark Magician or Blue Eyes,
Probably.
or at this point maybe the Garden Rose stuff. So, but these are just some cards to keep an eye out for. And I think that if you're at your sneak peek, you have a good chance of picking up these cards for a really good price.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of people are not going to know what these cards do, the prices on these cards, and some of the pre-sale prices on these cards are really wonky. So if you pull a Comica, hold on to it. Try to pick up a couple more.
Yep.
If you pull that other thing, Benghalancer, get rid of it. Because it's going to go down. It's not a good card.
Yeah. Like if there's some kind of combo that we don't know about with Benghalancer, please let us know.
Yeah, because I don't see it. All right, well, let's transition a little bit because we still have quite a bit more to talk about. Mainly, what we're going to talk about now is we're actually going to, really quick, while we're talking about products and releases and stuff like that, I want to touch on the Hidden Arsenal stuff that got announced. There was a Hidden Arsenal Chapter 1, which will be reprints from Hidden Arsenal 1 through 4.
Mm-hmm.
So there's going to be a lot of Dragoonity reprints, Naturi reprints, Ice Dragon reprints, Worms.
Ally of Justice.
Yeah, there's tons and tons of archetypes that were in these sets that haven't seen any reprints since. They were either Dual Terminal or they were Hidden Arsenal.
And that's it.
Yeah, like I think some of the Dragoonity cards are really high rarity and stuff, and they're gotten really expensive. I think some of the Dragoonity cards are anywhere from,
It's pretty much just the Dragoonity Knights, which are all the synchros, and
yeah, they're all like $50, $60, $70.
Well, it depends on which ones. There's a couple of them that are still down. They're still at the cheap end, 15, but that's the cheap end 15.
Yeah, so they needed. They really did need a reprint.
Oh, absolutely. Which, the structure deck would have done that very easily.
But you got to get the structure deck to have the structure deck reprints.
Exactly.
So, but we do have that coming, which is, honestly, I like it. A lot of people were really upset when this product was first announced because a lot of people didn't. So the belief was that because they didn't print that structure deck, they milked the Dragoonity structure deck into two underwhelming products, which was Ghost from the Past and now this, and that they were going to cut the Battles of Legend set for this year because we're like, oh, is this taking the place of Battles of Legend? That's kind of garbage, But about 2 or 3 days after this was announced, they turned around and announced the new Battles of Legend too. So, I mean, I'm all for it. Now that they say that, I'm like, this is awesome. I'm a huge fan of this set. It's literally doing nothing but helping the prices and making some of these older strategies that people like, just making them affordable.
Oh, yeah. Particularly the Dragoonity, because they have Romulus now.
And hilariously, the Naturias.
Yeah, the Naturias have always been interesting.
Well, I remember I always liked that deck, like, back in the day. I kind of wanted to build it, but the thing is...
You did build it.
I did build it. The thing with that deck was that, like, the thing with it these days is that some of the cards are kind of unreasonably expensive. Like, Naturia Cherries is like a $15 card for no reason other than it hasn't had a reprint. I think Bamboo Shoot's about $20.
Yeah.
For no reason other than it just hasn't had a reprint.
Oh, yeah, and if you want to run Naturias, you have to run Bamboo Shoot and Cherries.
Yeah, that's like two of the best cards in the deck.
Right up there with Mosquitoes and Peas.
I want to say Peas was good. I don't know about Mosquito. I don't know. It's been a long time.
Yeah, there was a lock involved with Peas and Mosquito.
No, I think it was...
No?
I think it was Pineapple.
It was Mosquitoes and something else. Where
it might have been Bean Pod?
Maybe. Where one couldn't be destroyed by battle, and then the other one couldn't be targeted as long as you controlled another Naturia monster, but then your opponent took any battle damage that you would have taken.
Right. So I think,
which at the time was kind of meh. Even now was kind of meh, but it's still interesting.
I love it. I mean, some of them are really cheap, but
like what's Barkion at?
which Barkion? Because he's had several printings.
Oh, the cheapest.
Oh well, I mean I think he's got like common printings. I mean, there's
Okay.
like, yeah, Barkion's not that bad. Beast has like ultra rare printings and stuff for like $1. But I mean, you're looking at the Naturia Beast and Barkion dual terminals are like, Beast is $70 to $80 and Barkion's $25 to $30.
Whew.
And Barkion has a ghost rare actually.
Oh yeah, because of Haunted Mine.
Right. Yep.
Yeah,
exactly
where they
right.
just had random cards reprinted as ghost rares.
Well, at that time, Barkion was a used card. So at that time, now Beast is the better one and Barkion's the worst one. But at the time, Barkion was actually better because the way the game was set up, right? Level 6 synchros were easier to make, and trap cards were way, way more prevalent in 2011 than they are now.
Oh yeah, Barkion being when a trap card is activated, discard one card, negate it.
I don't think it's discard. I think it's mill one.
It might be. It's pay some cost.
No. You remove from play 2 cards in your graveyard. So Beast would mill 2, and Barkion would remove from play 2. So you always had material if you had both of them up.
Okay, yeah. Oh yeah, and then you would just Beast negating spells.
Right. Now you got me really curious as to what the lock was. I don't remember.
And we'll look it up later.
Yeah.
It's not
Anyway. But I like that they're redoing. I like that they're putting out the
Hidden Arsenal reprints.
Yeah, just for no reason other than it was just too expensive.
Oh yeah, no, I am glad that also means that there's also a high chance of a reprint of one of my favorite cards from back in the day, Flamveld Fire Dog.
Yeah, that would be one of the ones in here for sure.
I have such fond memories of that. That's because I was playing Fire Kings. All the low level Fire Kings all had 200 defense.
Right.
Moving on, and the only thing important right at this moment about the upcoming Battles of Legend set for this year is one major reprint and one new card that is going to be included in that.
What is that?
The reprint being Forbidden Droplets.
That's a pretty big reprint.
Forbidden Drip. About to not be so drippy anymore.
That's a much better reprint.
Well, it depends on what it's. I assume it's going to be like the highest possible rarity in the set.
Secret.
Yeah, it's still going to be an expensive card, but it'll be a little bit more affordable.
I mean,
for those
I'll take a little bit more affordable. It's better than nothing.
It's more affordable to those with a mortgage.
So,
and then the new card is I can't think of the name of it. It's Declaration of Rebirth.
Oh yeah.
DNA surgery
trap.
for the grave.
That's right. Yeah. So they did announce that both Droplet and Declaration of Rebirth are going to be in this set.
Both good cards.
Very. So I don't know. It's interesting that we're getting those cards now of all times.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to move on to the Extravaganza results since we're already like over on time?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, real quick. So first place at the Remote Duel Extravaganza USA was Prank Kids. I saw that coming. Actually. Second place was Altergeist.
That's interesting.
Oh yeah. Third and fourth. I was only able to find like 4 decks. Third to fourth had a Zodiac Tri-Brigade, and then 5 to 8 had a Virtual World deck.
I think it's really interesting though that if you look at the representation numbers, because I always feel like in events like these, the actual winner is not necessarily the more indicative thing. Sure, okay, you go into a YCS and the deck that won the YCS, sure, it's, obviously the most looked at thing. But I think the more indicative thing is always going to be representation numbers.
Oh, absolutely.
And what we saw here was that a quarter of top cut, 4 of the top 16 decks were all Tri-Brigade. Either Zodiac Tri-Brigade or Pure. I think they were all Zoo, though.
Yeah, well, I think, that was in the...
No.
Those for the USA one?
This USA was 4, and the Mexican one was 5.
Okay, yeah. We also have the Remote Duel Extravaganza Mexico results. Top 16 being 5 Tri-Brigade Zoo, 3 Dragon Link, 2 Subterror, 2 Zodiac, 1 Invoked, which only ran 2 Shadal monsters in the main.
Right.
1 Virtual World, Pure Zombie, and Dino.
So, we're going to talk more about the Mexican one because we feel like at this point we're 5 days late on the American one.
Yeah.
Most people have already kind of broken that down. But the Mexican results are really interesting. We're talking 5 out of 16 Tri-Brigade Zoo, 3 out of 16 Dragon Link. That's half of your top cut right there. Is Dragon Link and Tri-Brigade Zoo. But to have Zoo Brigade as the most represented deck, and I think it took first and second place.
And third.
So we're told, well, I don't think they play at third, fourth. So 3rd/4th.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's really, really interesting that it would take up such a large representation number. And the other thing is, these deck lists are all kind of different. I mean, if you look at it, so right now what we have pulled up is the MCole40 video breakdown of the Extravaganza. He has a lot of the information. He has all the deck lists broken down, first, second, third, and all that.
Oh, yeah. Very useful information for this.
Definitely. So, but we looked at these deck lists before we started, and the thing that I found really, really interesting about this first place deck list is that, first of all, he did something that none of the other Zoo Brigade decks are doing. He's still running the Simorgh Link, because why wouldn't you? So, okay, full disclosure, I built this deck. I put together this deck yesterday because I pulled apart the Zulich. I wasn't enjoying it, and I put this together because I really love the Tri-Brigades, and I looked at it and I said, why would you not keep the barrier statue in and keep in the Simorgh? Sometimes it's literally just a W. It's just a win.
Oh, yeah, because at best, your opponent has to commit a normal summon and then attempt to attack over the statue.
Yeah.
Which
I don't see a reason that you wouldn't play it. It's just, I don't know.
And that's best case scenario for your opponent is that they're able to successfully do that.
Yeah, and at the end of it, even if you're at the end of your board and you just throw in he moved on to the second place list and it's gone. Even if you're at the end of your board, the end of your combo, and instead of doing a Link 2 play to make the
Ancient Warrior?
Yeah, the Ancient Warriors double Dragon Lords, instead of making that, you just make some more, and your end board is just better. I'm not saying that the double Dragon Lords isn't good. This is just better.
Oh, yeah, because your opponent has to answer the barrier statue during the end phase. They have to answer it.
Yeah, they can't do anything unless they're playing Speedroids in a few months.
Yeah, unless they're playing Speedroids or if
this deck.
Yeah, this deck, or if they have Super Poly with a proper
Wendigo?
Yeah, Shaddolls can make a Wendigo with it. Ugh.
It's not ideal, but they'll do it.
But they have to commit resources. They have to commit a normal summon, then they have to commit Super Poly itself and a discard to out one card.
The other really interesting thing about the path that these Zoo Brigade decks have taken, and this is, I think they got a lot of this inspiration from the OCG, because I noticed this when we did the OCG meta breakdown last week. A lot of these decks have turned into kind of trap decks. This guy's running 9 traps, which for a lot of what we would call combo decks is unconventional.
Almost unheard of.
Yeah, this guy's running 2 Dark Ruler No Mores in the main, 1 in the side. He's running 3 Tri-Brigade Revolt, which that was like one of the deck choices that they all had in common. Literally all of these are running 3 Tri-Brigade Revolt, which that card is broken.
Oh, yeah.
For those that don't know, the effect of Tri-Brigade Revolt is supposed to summon a number of your Beast Warrior and or Winged Beast monsters that are banished or in your graveyard. But special summon them but negate their effects. Then immediately after this card resolves, Link summon 1 Tri-Brigade Link monster using only those monsters. But I don't think you have to use all of those monsters. I think you can just use some of them.
I mean, based off of the wording, yes.
That's how I would read it.
So theoretically, you could bring out 2 of your Tri-Brigade monsters and a Zoo monster, just leave the Zoo monster on board and go Link 2 instead of Link 3.
Right, so it's just free recovery of your zoo monsters. Man, that's interesting. He's running Trap Tricks. He's running Dino-Miscus. I love it.
Oh, yeah. Also, in the side, something I found absolutely hilarious is that he's hiding Dark Samorg and Anti-Spell Fragrance.
One anti-spell grant. So the Dark Samorg makes a lot of sense, right? Because you can, and this is another thing that I did. I have Samorg in my sideboard because if you're running the Samorg Link monster, it's kind of sometimes just a win. Against certain decks, it really, really, really locks them out badly. Like, if I go into this against Eldritch, it really does a number on them.
Oh, yeah. They have to spend lots of resources. They have to out the Dark Samorg.
Specifically, yes.
Okay, so the reason why the Dark Samorg is because with Anti-Spell Fragrance, to activate any spell or trap, you have to set it first.
Right.
Dark Samorg's effects is that it just has a continuous effect that neither player can activate set cards.
Right. No, they can't set cards.
Never mind, they can't set them.
So anti-spell fragrance, you have to set everything first, and Dark Samorg makes it to where you can't. So you literally can't do you can't activate or use any spells or traps. You can have this lockout turn 0.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, then your opponent has to out the Dark Samorg without using a spell or trap. A lot of decks can do it,
but they have to commit an enormous amount of resources to do it.
Yeah. Now granted, Dark Samorg is a dark monster. So, as far as that is concerned, you got a lot of... There's probably a couple of monster effects you can use with that. But, like, the big thing is that if you're turn 1 and not turn 0 and you drop the Dark Samorg, your opponent can Super Poly it. But that's the only way to out it immediately, so they have to Super Poly it or deal with it right as it hits the field. Because if it hits the field and stays, yeah.
Yeah, it can really be a problem. And the other thing that's really interesting is that you also have Imperial Order in the side. So you have Judgments, you have Imperial Order, you have Duster, Anti-Spell Fragrance, Dark Samorg, you have 2 Twin Twisters. This guy is so ready to not deal with your spells. It's insane. And
spells and traps.
Yeah, and here's the craziest part. This guy's not running any 3-ofs in his side deck, which I love. This is straight out of 2012. I mean, you're running 2 Nibiru's, 2 Lancia, 2 Twin Twister, 1 Duster, 1 Dark Ruler or more. The other 2 are in the main. 2 Evenlies, 2 Judgments, 1 Order, 1 Anti-Spell Fragrance, 1 Samorg. I love that. I don't know if it's good, but I love it.
It's definitely inefficient, but obviously he got first, so obviously it worked out for him.
I think the thing that you have to remember is that if I have my numbers correct here, if you have 3 cards in your deck, you have around a 30% chance of opening it in your opening hand.
Something like that.
Whereas if you have 2 of a card, you have like a 22 or 23% chance. So you're dropping your percentage by about 8 percentage points if I have my math correct there. But in return, you get, by cutting, say, Nibiru down to 2 and Lancia down to 2 and Twin Twister down to 2, you gain the ability to tech in more cards that do just as good of a job or better.
Oh, yeah.
And you have more versatility in your side deck, which I think is important.
Oh, yeah. No, there's definitely something to be said about more versatility.
Especially in a meta that we have right now where the meta is so diverse that you could see anything.
Even rogue stuff can pop up and ruin your day if you're not prepared for it.
Absolutely.
Like Altergeist.
Yeah. So the second build's not too much different. This guy's running Desires instead of Prosperity. This guy's main decking Nibiru's, main decking
Strikes.
Talent. Yeah, this guy's maining Strikes, maining Tories. He's maining the Imperial Order. They're both maining Called by the Grave. This guy's side deck is more of what you'd see these days. 3 Alpha, 3 Lancia, 3 Droll, 2 Ghost Bells, 3 Twister. I mean, it's normal stuff.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But this guy isn't running Samorg or the Barrier Statue.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. I feel like the Barrier Statue is just kind of the better play.
Well, I mean, if this has anything to go off of it, he got second place. The guy with the Barrier Statue got first.
That's what I'm saying. I think the Barrier Statue... I think it's worth it. Because you can literally just tech in a single Barrier Statue and a single Samorg It's 2 cards.
Is Samorg from hand or deck, or is it only deck?
Hand or deck.
Oh, okay, yeah. Then in which case it's not a Garnet. You're sad if you draw the Barry statue, but it's not just this card just can't do anything now.
Right.
Outside of being a big beat stick.
Yeah. So, and I mean, even if you get into 4th place, like, okay, here's my thing with 4th place. If you look at this is Subterrors. It's Subterror Guru. This deck is so real. Sure, it's reliant on its spell, on its traps, but it's really heavily reliant on its traps with the Hidden City and Terraforming and all your Red Eyes Fusions and things like that. I mean, it's so weird. He's running 2 Dragoons, 3 Red Eyes Fusion, but only 1 Red Eyes and 1 Dark Magician.
I think that's for like Nadir, maybe. Not Nadir. Maximus, maybe. Counterplay for Maximus or something.
Maybe. Might be part of it.
Because he's also running what is that? Yeah, 2 Intis.
That is true.
And what is that? Ruler for
Last Warrior from Another Planet.
Yeah.
Which he's running Waking the Dragons to summon.
Okay, yeah.
So he's running Ice Dragons Prisons, Waking the Dragon, all that.
Yeah. But even then, like I said, he was running the So I think it's just something. It's so if one of them gets Maximus, he's got the other.
Okay. This is so. Now we're into like an Invoke Dogmatica list. This list is really interesting.
Because first off, it ran 2 Shadalls, 1 copy of Dragon, 1 copy of Aerial, none of the fusions.
That's it. That's it. He is running some of the fusions. He's running 2 constructs.
Oh no! I meant the fusion spells. Well, he's running Schism, which is technically, but yeah, literally, it's Dragon, Aerial, and Schism. That's it in the main.
Yep. So, and in your extra, all he has is 2 App Cologne, 1 Winda, and 2 Construct.
Which you can actually invoke into invocation into them.
Oh, that's true. I didn't think about that.
Yeah, keep that in mind.
So, okay, there's 2 things that super duper stick out about this deck list. His ratios are so scuffed. He's running in the main deck. He's running 2 Lancia, 1 Skullmeister, 3 Ash, 1 Ghost Bell, 1 Ghost Ogre, and 2 Effect Veiler for his hand trap lineup.
Man, this guy was scared of Cross-Out Designator, it sounds like.
Honestly, though, it's like he thought Cross-Out Designator was a legal card already. He's so many one-ofs. Why would you main 1 Skullmeister? Why would you do that?
He's not even siding more. His side has 1 DD Crow, 2 Drolls,
and 2 Nibs.
Either
so based.
Okay, hold on. Either this dude is on a whole other level of
this guy
gray matter.
He's doing his own thing, man. He's
like either he's on his
brain.
Either he's on this whole other level of gray matter production going on in the old noggin, or he's just throwing stuff on a wall and see what sticks.
And it's crazy because it goes even farther than that, right? Because he's only running 2 Triple Tactics Talents. He's only running 2 Invocations. He's only running 2 Forbidden Droplets. He's only running 2 Infinite Impermanents. Why so many 1-ofs and 2-ofs in your deck when you can just do something like cut Skullmeister to the main because you're running about 6 or 7 1-ofs in the side, cut Skullmeister to the side deck, and throw in a 3rd Imperm and side deck Skullmeister based on matchups. Because his sideboard is even weirder.
Oh yeah, 2 Nib, 2 Drolls, 1 DD Crow. I don't know why.
2 Cosmic.
2 Cosmic, 1 Harpy's Feather Duster, 1 Regeki, set rotation, and Metaverse. Really getting into that field spell plays. Zombie World, Hidden Village of the Spellcasters, and 2 Evenly Matches.
I do like the Secret Village of Spellcasters in the Zombie World. If you're going to run set rotation and the terraforming in the main with the Metaverse, you can bring all of that in to get into your meltdowns. And then also you can get into Zombie World and just kill certain matchups.
Oh yeah, or you can give your opponent Hidden Village of the Spellcasters.
Yeah.
And if they don't have any spellcasters, they can't activate spells.
I really, really, really love Secret Village of Spellcasters and Zombie World because either one of them, in the right situation, is literally just a W.
Oh yeah. Well, now the thing about set rotation is that it gives your opponent the Zombie World, so they have to elicit to activate it.
Or you can give them a magical meltdown if you don't need one right at that moment.
Exactly. You've already comboed off, and then you set rotation, give them a magical meltdown, and then you flip the zombie world.
Well, you have to wonder which is more impactful: a magical meltdown on your side of the field, or just sending one to them and then activating zombie world.
Yeah.
I think zombie world stopping them is more impactful.
Oh yeah. Especially you have Macabre sitting there.
Yeah, and then you can use the zombie world, like if you're playing against Dragon Link, you just win automatically.
Oh yeah, no, because it turns off Pisty. It turns off Pisty's graveyard effect. It turns off Red Eyes Darkness Metal's graveyard effect. It turns off linking for 90% of the Link monsters because they required dragon type monsters.
It's an interesting list. I don't know if I like it or not, but it's interesting.
It's definitely something to talk about. I don't like the random 1 and 2 ofs personally.
Yeah, it just doesn't seem like it's very what's the word I'm looking for?
Efficient.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it's very streamlined.
Next up, we got a top 8 virtual world.
It's still virtual world.
The one major thing that I find interesting is he's running 2 Cosmic, 2 Twin Twister in the side.
I mean, sometimes Cosmic's better than Twin Twister in like an Eldritch matchup, but sometimes Twin Twister is better in, I don't know.
Ever been in a situation where you couldn't decide whether or not you should do that one or the other? Why not both?
I guess. Next is Rocket Dragon Link, 3 Chambermaid, 2 Tidying, normal stuff, 3 Talents, 3 Dark Ruler no more in the main is interesting.
Oh yeah, and he's also got 2 Anti-Spell Fragrances in the side. Then we got another Zodiac.
Also with
Tri Brigade.
Also 2 Anti-Spell Fragrances and an order in the side deck.
Oh yeah, just no spells, please.
Yeah, no, these guys are hard in against the spells.
This guy was running 2 IDP actually.
Yep, and Trap Tricks.
Yeah, Trap Tricks is a good card.
Well, the first place guy was running Trap Trick also.
Ooh, the deck I'm excited about. Zombies!
Yep, top 16 zombie deck.
Oh, yeah. It's pure zombies. It's definitely a meta call, and it obviously worked out for him. He was running both Zombie World and Rivalry of Warlords.
That's hilarious.
I'm doing all zombies. You're locked into zombies, whether or not you want to be.
Right.
And so what that means...
Oh my god, it's hilarious that he's running Ash Blossom, a level 3 zombie tuner monster, and he's running Borreload Savage.
Because he can hit it.
Literally.
But like... Well, I mean, I also think Unizombie is also a tuner. But then
Let's also talk about the fact that he's running Super Poly.
Yes, he's running Super Poly in the main, boys.
I just realized he's running Winda. I didn't notice that before.
Yes, because then you can just steal your opponent's Winda to make your own. He's also running the Doom King
Necro.
No, like Necro Zombie Dragon, whatever the fusion. It's so you can steal your opponent's Borreload Savage to make that, and one of your zombies to make that.
Right. Some of the other top 16 decks was another Zoo Brigade, another Dragon Link, nothing
fancy.
Yeah, nothing too wild. Here's a Zulich deck
with
maining D-Shifter. That's
interesting. D-Shifter and 1 Ghost Spell.
So many one-ofs. I don't know why they did this.
Oh, it's also siding a Draco's Tapelia.
And 2 Super Polys. And 1 Lightning Storm. Why do they do this? It's giving me an aneurysm.
Okay, so with the 1 Lightning Storm, I think it's because he only... because he had 2 in the main.
Oh, okay.
He's got 2 in the main. Like, the Draco's Tapelia, I get because it's 2 darks, but why not just run Starving Venom Fusion Dragon?
I don't know.
Another Dragon Link with, like, 1 Spice monster card.
Again, with two Dark Ruler in the main, 1 in the sideboard.
Yeah.
Spell Fragrances. Anti-Spell Fragrance is becoming a really popular card.
Oh, yeah.
Who's that? Pure Zodiac? No, Zodiac Dogmatica.
Oh, okay, yeah, with 1 Ecclesia and 1 Fleur de Lis.
3 Dark Ruler in the main.
And Megaclops!
Well, okay. I feel like if you're running Pure Zoo, you have to run Megaclops.
I mean, why not?
I think you have to. I don't think you really have much of a choice. I think either in Pure Zoo... Honestly, just me... All these Zodiac decks are running Ratpier and Ramram. If I'm running Ratpier and Ramram, I'm going to run Megaclops.
Fair enough.
It's too easy of an auto win against some
also,
decks.
The Bee.
The Bee?
The Bee.
The Bee?
Yeah,
Excuse me?
Yeah, you see you got Zeus, Bee.
Zeus. Oh, Drew Driver Vespinato.
Yeah, the Bee.
But Dual Driver Vespanado makes a lot of sense right here.
I just like saying the B.
Of course.
Oh, man.
Another top 16 deck is Dino.
Standard Dino.
Yep. 2 UCT, 2 of the babies, and, one of the petite. So 2 baby, 1 petite. That's interesting. Only 3 babies total.
Yeah. Another interesting thing he did is that he's maining Sight and sighting Sanctums.
That is very interesting. No trap cards in the main, but he is maining 2 Artifact Sanctums, 1 Lancia. Is that Shaddoll Fusion in the side?
Yeah, with Aerial and Beast.
Oh,
Also
that's
in the
hilarious.
side.
This dude's really side decking, or this dude's really running Winda and Apcolon in his...
And Grista.
Grista, wow.
Yeah, because he can use Misk to make Grista.
Wow.
So,
and Ash Blossom.
So what you can do is, if you're going second, you activate Shaddoll Fusion, fuse one of your Shaddoll monsters with Misk from your deck.
And send it to your grave?
And then to make Grista...
Oh, that's actually really spicy.
And Grista can negate monster effects.
That's actually really spicy.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Next one to talk about is another Subterra. There was actually 2 in top 16.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about Subterra too much, though, because I don't want to give them their validation. I don't like the...
Listen. Subterra artwork is really good.
Yeah, but
that's where the good stuff about Subterra ends.
Yeah, I don't like the concept of Subterra. I don't like the deck. I don't have anything against people that play it. I just don't care for it.
I like the artwork. Yeah. I like the pictures.
Well, that'll pretty much wrap us up for the day. Basically, I guess as far as wrapping up this particular segment, because I'll probably wrap that up before we close out the pod. I mean,
yeah.
I guess Tri Brigade Zoo. We're in the Zoo meta, folks. We're in the Tri Brigade meta.
Yep. Hope you got your Drolls.
Yeah.
Because I sure don't.
Hope you have your Drolls and your Lancias, because this is it, boys. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Droll and Lancia, the meta.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, because we're still going to see other stuff, but it looks like Zoo Brigade is going to be...
The best deck.
Yeah, for a while at least.
It might not be the best deck right now. Dragon Link might be the best deck still, but they just know how to play against it and are properly prepared for it.
Exactly. Well, then we'll also have to see how the Amazement archetype will do. I don't think it's going to do a whole lot. It will be a threat.
I think the only way that Amazement really becomes like a tier 1 meta deck is the same way the Geargia did it. A nuclear ban list.
Absolutely. We're talking enough bans for Dragon Link for it to be gone. Enough bans to limit Tri-Brigade's
Dragon Link
influence.
Tri-Brigade, Invoke, Dogmatica, Shaddoll, Eldritch, all those control engines, Prank Kids, all these decks would have to get neutered.
Well, maybe not.
If for Amazement to be tier 1, yes.
Well, yeah,
for it to
be tier 1.
All of those decks have to get slapped.
Yeah,
on the ban list.
But then you'll have stuff running around like good old Chaos Thunder Dragons and...
Yeah, but I don't think Chaos Thunder Dragons, even with all that slapped on the ban list, would even be good.
No.
Unless Colossus comes back. That's a different story.
Yes, even if it came back to 1.
Yeah, if Colossus came back to 1, then we're having a different conversation here, but it's not.
Yeah, but I do want to see a big ban list where 50 cards move around.
I really... I know people are like, oh no, we can just move 10 cards around and it's fine. Nah, bro.
I want to see 50 cards move.
Let's see 50, 60 cards move around. I'm fine with it.
Oh, yeah. Now,
let's go full nuclear.
Now, we don't mean 60 cards go from 3 to 0.
Right.
We mean we have a couple of cards here went from 0 to 1, a couple went from 1 to 2, a couple went from 2 to 3,
a couple went from 3 to 2, 2 to 0, whatever.
Blah, blah, blah,
yeah,
3
whatever.
to 0, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
Just, they move around somewhere.
47 card movement on the ban list was, I think, the record, probably September 2013.
Yeah, the end of Dragon Ruler.
Well, no, the first hit on Dragon Ruler.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Well, thank you so much for coming in today. It's been an absolute treat. We actually got to record a decent time, so our energy level is up.
Much higher.
Definitely. It was some interesting meta stuff going on. What do we have coming up? Do we know?
Well, let's see. We got that pre-release next weekend.
I don't know if we have any more extravaganzas coming up.
No, as far as I know, I don't think we do.
I know that there's the YCS coming up in a few months. I think August.
Yeah, the Remote Duel YCS.
Right, right.
That's going to be interesting.
Otherwise, I think you could probably check your local game stores for events.
Oh, yeah.
Other than that, I think that's all I've got. I think all of our the stuff, all of our socials, things like that, the descriptions, places where we get all our information, sources, and all that, best we can put them in. We'll put them all in the description. Try to let everybody find that. Other than that, you have anything else to add, Caleb?
I can't think of anything.
All right, everybody. Have a wonderful day. Enjoy the weekend.
Take care, everyone. Have fun.